team?
NFL wise or college?
NFL.
So NFL at that time, actually, I'd probably say it was the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now it's the Washington team.
Yeah, and whatever. It's still the Redskins.
Yeah.
Anybody does, yeah. If you're an NFL player and you've been following it, I think you call the Washington Redskins. Don't let these cancel cultures idiots freaking change it.
Isn't that weird though? Like to
It
call
is.
them the Washington team.
What the hell is that?
Like you couldn't like if you're gonna change it, can you come up with something better? Like Washington Red?
How about Washington? How about Deep State Washington? Or something?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean,
But
I don't know. It's.
I mean, what's next, right? You know,
Did they change the logo? Is the logo still there? Or is it? They get rid of the logo.
I think they did. I think it's just a W.
WFT.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Football team.
NFL wise or college? So
NFL.
NFL at that time. Actually, I'd probably say it was the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now it's the Washington team.
Yeah, and whatever. It's still the Redskins.
Yeah.
Anybody does, yeah. If you're an NFL player and you've been following it, I think you call the Washington Redskins. Don't let these cancel cultures idiots freaking change it.
Isn't that weird though? Like to
It
call
is.
them the Washington team.
What the hell is that?
Like you couldn't like if you're gonna change it, can you come up with something better? Like Washington Red?
How about Washington? How about Deep State Washington? Or something?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean,
But
I don't know. It's.
I mean, what's next, right? You know,
Did they
and
change
that's-
the logo? Is the logo still there? Or is it? They get rid of the logo.
I think they did. I think it's just a W.
WFT.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
But I wasn't working out like I was. I was eating. I was actually eating.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I was a scrawny kid, but yeah.
But you ate. You got
But,
to eat. You got
yeah.
bigger. I mean,
And it
you're
was
jacked.
nice.
I
It
mean,
was
you're
nice.
jacked right now. I mean, it's not like you're a little guy, pal. And you're wide. You got that width. You're like him. You got that width. Just give me a little bit of width and height.
It's crazy what food does.
Yeah. Well, if it would make me fucking 3 inches taller, I'd have 17 pizzas here right now.
Of course, the left, they always label us as a right extremist militia because we get involved in, we help out with politics. We get involved with politics. You know, we go to school boards, you know, because we were hearing about the parents being attacked by BLM Antifa members at school board meetings. You know, not physically, but just verbally. But they got their kids. They're bringing their kids there because their parents, they don't always have babysitters. They can't afford it. So we started showing up. Of course, the media, they came after us saying, you know, we're threatening people, but they have no video footage of it, but they'll print it. Whatever. You know, anything that the media prints about anybody standing up for the community and it's negative, you have to know it's false. So we actually flipped a lot of the board members, Board of Education members in Colorado, a lot of them. So that'll start getting better. But that's kind of what I'm doing with UADF. We're getting involved in human
My
trafficking.
friend passed away, you know, and he was a Marine as well. And, you know, maybe if he would have had the opportunity to get help like this, maybe he would still be here.
Yeah. But again, it also goes not every, how do I say, not every treatment is for everybody.
Right. And I don't know that he would have.
Well, they might.
either
Well,
way.
no, that's what I'm saying is they might have to go to 5 or 6 different things to figure out which one works for them. Because we sent a law enforcement guy to probably about 5 different treatments, and it was like the 5th one it clicked with him.
But you didn't give up on
We
it.
didn't give up. It's like we'll just keep sending you to. You know, we can't do it for your whole entire life. But what we're going to send you to different treatment facilities that do different things. You know, and we didn't try them all, but we hit that 5th one, and that was it. That's why I keep telling people, and I get it a lot of time from vets. Well, I went to this one, it didn't work. Okay, did you try another one? No, because it's not going to work. How do you know? Not every treatment is the same. So not every facility does it the same way. So I just try to tell veterans, again, just keep looking. If it didn't work, go to the next one. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is because
Right.
everybody's brain's different. Everybody, you're different. Not everybody's the same. I had a backlog, so a bunch of people were there. So I was only there for one night, and then the next morning we actually got into our DIs, our drill instructors. So we get there, and I just remember all of us that showed. It was only a few because it gets spread out quite a bit. But the ones that we came with. Of course, you got to sit. You're sitting on the ground, Indian style. legs crossed, it's Indian style. If people don't know, I mean, it's not a racial thing. It's called Indian style because legs are crossed, sitting down. And the drill instructor comes in and he goes, eyes. And everybody around us yells, snap. I'm like, what the hell? Ears open. I'm like, how the hell do you guys know what to say? Well, they've been there for a week.
And you're just walking in.
I'm just walking in. I'm like going, this is bullcrap, man.
Yeah.
So it took me a little while because they were already doing drills, like the drill. It's marching and stuff. It's called drill. You're marching, left turn, right turn, reverse, all this stuff. Halftime. So I'm like going, how the hell do these people already know this stuff? Well, about 3 weeks into boot camp, I finally started asking, how the hell did you guys? Oh, we were here for like a week already. We're like, oh, okay.
Now, when you go into boot camp, when he calls you down, and then the next day you go in with the guys who have been doing this, what kind of shape are you in?
Oh, I'm in good shape.
Oh, you are in good shape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I was running, again, track. I mean, hell, I was doing a mile in less than 6 minutes. I mean, that was quick. I did. So when you first went in, after we got picked up, and we had to do like a placement test for running because they have different time frames. So I think I ran the mile and a half in 7.5 minutes. I was 160 pounds going into boot camp.
Wow.
That's the fastest I ever ran and never did it again.
But at least you could say you did it once.
I did it once. But so I learned what food was. And I was able to actually eat food, and I had a lot of carbs, and I gained 20 pounds in boot camp.
Did you really?
I went in 160, came out over 180.
Don't most people lose weight in boot camp?
Usually, yeah. But again, if you can eat, But I wasn't working out as much either. In high school, I mean, I was working almost 3 times a day.
Well, you were playing football.
I was playing
track,
football.
And that would eat you alive.
Yeah, I had gym, I had football and track, and then I'd go to work, and after work, I'd go work out. So I was always working out. I mean, but so I went into boot camp in shape. I left boot camp out of
That boot
shape.
camp sounds like it was a breeze for you.
It was a boot camp. If you go in physically, all you got to worry is about the mental thing. Growing up where I grew up, mental was not whatever, dude.
Right.
So I had it all already. I laughed so much, I got in so much trouble because it was all funny to me. It was like, this is
because growing up, you were already going through it.
Like, this is freaking hilarious. You can't touch me. I can do it.
Yeah.
So I think they need. I mean, I don't need dudes. People don't need to get beaten, but I think they need a physical altercation. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
You're going to war. You're fighting for your country, and to be pandered the way our military is now, it's sad. I mean, I thought boot camp was weak. I mean, it was hard. It was tough, but I still think it was weak. I think the DIs need to be able to do more hands on. Because if you know the DI can't do anything to you,
what do you give a crap?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. You can yell at me all you want. I really don't care.
Well, if you think it was kind of weak then, imagine what it's like now.
Yeah, I mean, they're still producing from some pretty good guys, but I think it's gonna be bad. I mean, our adversaries are training a lot harder. I think they're going to end up being. I don't think their training is as good. They're not as effective, but their mentality is a lot harder. Kind of like how the Greatest Generation was, where they just fought. They didn't care, but they fought for what they believed in. They would go days in, day out without food, without introducing stress cards in boot camp. You can't do that crap in combat. You're breeding an insufficient society, an insufficient fighting force, a weak one, a childish one. But it's just going to get worse, in my opinion.
And as a citizen, that scares me because I agree with you. I'm saying this respectfully. I think you guys need slapped around because when you go to these other countries, what do you think? They're going to come and say, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, you got an AK there? Can you just put it aside?" No, they're going to blow your head off.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my stress card up. You think they're going to stop?
Yeah. What do they do in school now with I was watching
Safe places.
What's that?
Safe place?
Safe place. That's what it is. What do you think of that?
Again, okay, that's good for college kids.
Come to Benghazi and show me your safe place, pal.
But when you get when you get back out to the real world, there's no safe place.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time we were actually it's called the Egyptian Range. Maybe I might be racist now, but it was like 130 degrees. Our water was 150 degrees. We couldn't cool it down. So finally the medic shut it down, because the medic, he can actually shut the range down. And he's like, he told the commander, you need to stop. And he wouldn't stop. And he goes, nope, I'm throwing the flag up. And it's the only time in 4 years I ever actually had the medic, because dudes were actually starting to drop from heat exhaustion. But not only that, it can actually kill you because you're so freaking hot. There's the water's not cool enough to cool you down. He's like, if you can't get ice out here to cool the water down below like 100 degrees, I'm shutting your range down. And he ended up shutting it down because we weren't getting anything.
You guys would have overheated.
But dude, that was one of the most miserable times in 29 Palms. Besides the cold. Cold was when it was cold. Think of the desert, because every time you dig a fighting hole, which is a hole in the ground, you fight out of, and the wind, we were always facing the wind in the middle of the wintertime. It was always blowing right in your face, and you're just like, it gets cold in the desert.
And you're digging through ice and everything else, or
there's no ice, but the sand, the rocks, and stuff.
Yeah, Tom, there's ice in the fucking desert.
But it was so cold. It is so cold out there in the wintertime. But the training was awesome. All live fire, no blanks, no nothing like that. You can call for fire on jets, tanks, helicopters, artilleries, mortars. And as a platoon, as a squad leader, I was doing that. A lot of other infantry units, they don't get the chance to do that. Only really the ones out in 28 Palms do, because we had so much time in our hands, so much training, so much equipment, and it's there, and they need to train themselves, the ones the pilots and the artillery. So we'd go out there and be able to do that, and which normally a lot of squad leaders don't get a chance to do that. Usually it's on a higher level, but we got to. So it was cool, man. And then just doing the live fire, you're literally walking, you're shooting live rounds, probably 50 to 100 yards in front of people moving forward, and you have to move your fire, especially if you're a squad leader. You have to watch your squad, and you have to move their fire with their movement, because they can't really see them, so they're just like picking targets, because there's no enemy shooting at you. So you just got to tell you guys, okay, shift. So there's a lot of units that come out there in 29 Palms, and they actually kill each other.
Really?
Because they're not used to doing live fire. They use all that, the fake blank stuff. So when they get out there, they get crazy, and not really crazy. Guys just lose their mind, and they just don't pay attention to what's going on because they're not used to it. And stand down order was given. No matter how you want to take it, we knew who Bob was. I don't think it came from Hillary Clinton. No. That stand down order, the one that I know 100% of, did not come from her. It didn't come from our chief of station up in Tripoli. It came from Bob, and Bob alone is just who he was. On multiple occasions, again, this is my third trip with this dude. On multiple occasions, he would not allow us to leave. Luckily, nothing ever happened, but this time it did. 2 people died because he made us stay. He didn't let us leave. If you watch the movie with the part with Roan and Jack getting held up at a checkpoint, it really wasn't Jack, wasn't in the car. It was actually Roan and another individual. They got held up at that checkpoint for over 2 hours at gunpoint. We were 45 minutes away. And we asked to leave. Again, we don't go in guns blazing. We're not stupid. This ain't freaking Hollywood. This is reality of life. We go in and we watch, and we get eyes on and assess the situation. Then we come up with a plan of what we may or may not do. So we're right there if something goes south. That's the whole point.
Because this is life and death, and you have to have a strategy.
Exactly.
You can't just go in there holding the trigger down.
Well, you can't just go in with a blaze of glory like Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Again, it's reality. It's not Hollywood.
Yeah.
So we go in, we get eyes on, we assess the situation. And same thing here. We have to go in, get eyes on, and see where we can go in at. There could have been 10,000 freaking dudes, and we might not be able to do anything. We didn't know until we got there. And they start getting on the radio again more and more, and to say, hey, they're lighting the buildings on fire, and, we need help. So for us, the last straw was when they came over the radio pretty much for the final time. They said, if you guys don't get here now, we're going to fucking die. That's really what they said. And again, for us, job be damn. Screw my job. We know we're the only help that they have. We know we're the only ones that can truly go in and rescue them. You got a militia called 17 February Martyrs Brigade. They're not very well trained. They don't know how to do hostage, because they're hostages now. They're not hostage. They don't know how to do hostage rescue, and they're just trigger happy individuals. They're not trained to do that. We are. That is what we're hired to do, to go rescue pretty much agency personnel if they get captured. and we protect them. But also, I mean, obviously, I just talked about why I almost didn't get to do my job because I shot the package to going in and rescuing him.
Right.
That's their hard. I mean, that's what they hired us to do, to rescue their.
And that's why they made you do it 10 times over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we said, screw it, we're leaving. And we started pulling away. Our team leader finally said, I'm coming. He gets in the vehicle. We actually pulled off to the side. We're the lead vehicle, pulled off the side and allowed them to bypass us, and they go in. We get to the corner. The consulate, there's already some guys there. I get out of the car. I move up to the corner. I lob the grenade, three rounds of the grenade launcher, and pretty much that ended because when we first got there, I always backtrack. There was a firefight between the militia guys that were there and the guys who were down at the embassy or the consulate. So that's why I went up with the grenade launcher, lobbed the rounds, and then when I go up for the fourth round, they were gone. They had disappeared. Went back. So if you watch the movie,
I've watched it many times.
For everybody that's listening, if you watch the movie, I did not lose the grenade launcher. Brains don't lose a force multiplier piece of equipment. I put it back inside the vehicle that we drove over to the consulate in an armored vehicle because it would be safe and secure. The master was found probably about approximately 1:30 in the morning inside the villa. He was found in his room halfway on and off his bed, so he was just kind of laying over. His feet were off. This is what I was told. But if you saw the video of him being dragged out, there's no way he was alive. All the rumors about him being raped, tortured, and mutilated, that's all bullshit. The picture that was floating around that was saying it was him was some Egyptian from 2006. So
what the hell's the matter with these people, man?
Dude, I don't know. I think that started by some right-wing nut job to try to bash Hillary. I don't agree with that either. I wish I could find out who did that and just punch him in the face. So I actually got to see the video footage from the moment they got him, after they got him out and they started moving him up the road. His next door neighbor was there. Actually would come over, what I heard, almost regularly when Stevens was there and visit and stuff. So he knew who he was, grabbed him, told his driver, go get my car. He's the one who carried him up the road outside the consulate, threw him in his car and drove him straight to the hospital. Again, I saw the video footage from the whole entire time. There's no mutilation. And for one, it took us an hour to get to the consulate. We found Ambassador Sean Smith dead within that time frame. You're going to tell me that Ambassador Stevens lived from the very beginning until 1:30 in the morning when they found him and he was still alive? Yeah, okay.
That would be for the movie, right?
Yeah, I got oceanfront property in freaking Nebraska.
Yeah, I got $1 trillion in the bank, but we're sitting here doing this right now.
Yeah. So that was going on. I like to just, because nobody ever corrected it for the family when that was coming out that's what happened to
That's so wrong, man.
Until we came out with the book, they always thought that's really what happened to him. So I mean, his fiance's even contacted. She contacted and said that was the best thing I ever heard. I mean, I'm glad, because they were telling them the same thing, that he was tortured and raped and all this stuff. That never happened.
Now, why would they do that? Why?
Because it was
just to make it a bigger deal than what it is.
Because again,
don't these people realize that they got families? Maybe they got kids.
Well, people don't care. It's all political. It's all they wanted to make sure Hillary got bashed. Hillary, I'm not about that myself. I mean, I'll blame you for blame, but I'm not gonna make something.